In a world where our lives are increasingly uploaded, stored, and backed up, we often wonder, if our data lives forever, does a part of us, our essence, our soul, reside there too? When we leave this physical realm, where do we truly go? Is it to the cloud, to the endless digital ether? This video is for you if you're searching for a quiet contemplation on the nature of existence beyond the digital, a deeper understanding of what truly transcends the ephemeral, a gentle reminder that the soul is not a file to be uploaded. If that sounds like you, just stay and listen, as if you're listening to the quiet truth of your own heart. The soft glow of the tablet illuminated Maya's face in the dim room. It had been a year since her grandmother, Nana Rose, passed away, and Maya still found herself drawn to the digital shrine she had meticulously created. Nana Rose's social media profiles, her old email account, even a shared cloud drive filled with family photos and documents. Maya had spent countless hours curating this digital legacy, believing that in these virtual spaces, a part of Nana Rose still lived. She would scroll through old posts, reread email exchanges, and zoom in on photographs, searching for a flicker of her grandmother's essence, a digital echo of her laughter, her wisdom, her comforting presence. The algorithms, in their uncanny way, would often resurface memories, reminding Maya of anniversaries, shared events, or even just random moments captured in time. Each notification was a bittersweet pang, a confirmation that Nana Rose's digital footprint was still active, still present in the vast, interconnected web. Yet, with each passing day, a subtle unease began to settle in. The more she immersed herself in this digital afterlife, the more she felt a growing disconnect from the true essence of her grandmother. The words on the screen, though hers, felt flat, devoid of the warmth and inflection that had made Nana Rose's voice so unique. The photographs, though capturing her smile, couldn't convey the twinkle in her eye, the gentle squeeze of her hand, the unspoken love that had always flowed between them. Maya remembered sitting with Nana Rose in her garden, the scent of blooming jasmine heavy in the air. Nana Rose would tell stories of her youth, her voice a soft murmur, her hands busy tending to her beloved roses. There were long stretches of comfortable silence, moments filled with a profound sense of peace and connection that transcended words. These were the moments Maya truly cherished, the moments that defined her relationship with her grandmother. But these moments, she realized, were not in the cloud. They were not captured in any digital file, not stored on any server. They existed in the space between breaths, in the shared warmth of a touch, in the quiet understanding that passed between two souls. The digital shrine, once a source of comfort, now felt like a gilded cage, trapping a fragmented version of Nana Rose, preventing Maya from truly letting go, from truly mourning. The silence in the room was no longer just the absence of sound. It was the absence of the unquantifiable, the uncapturable. She had tried to upload her grandmother's soul to the cloud, hoping to keep her close, but all she had managed to do was create a digital phantom, a constant reminder of what was truly lost. And in that realization, a new kind of emptiness settled in, a quiet, unsettling void that no amount of digital connection could ever fill. The machine hummed on, a constant reminder of her futile attempt to defy the natural order of things. She had outsourced her grief, hoping to find solace in technology, but all she had found was a mirror reflecting her own emptiness. The silence stretched, vast and unyielding, a testament to the truth that some things are simply not meant to be data. Maya had always found solace in order, in systems, in the logical progression of cause and effect. Her life was meticulously organized, her digital footprint pristine. When Nana Rose passed, Maya's grief, though profound, was immediately channeled into a project, the creation of a comprehensive digital archive. She believed that by preserving every digital trace of her grandmother, She could somehow defy the finality of death, keeping Nana Rose's essence alive in the boundless expanse of the cloud. She meticulously tagged photos, categorized emails, and even used AI tools to analyze Nana Rose's writing style, hoping to generate new, authentic-sounding messages. This digital immortality, she reasoned, was the ultimate tribute, a way to ensure Nana Rose's wisdom and love would never truly vanish. But the more she delved into this digital preservation, the more a subtle, unsettling tension began to build. The AI could mimic Nana Rose's voice, could even generate responses that sounded eerily like her. Yet, when Maya asked it about a specific, unrecorded memory, a shared secret, a spontaneous moment of laughter in the garden, the AI would offer a generic, data-driven reply. It was perfect, yet perfectly hollow. The algorithms could sort and categorize, but they couldn't feel. They could process information, but they couldn't truly understand the nuances of human connection, the unspoken language of love and loss. Maya found herself increasingly frustrated, not with the technology, but with the chasm it revealed. She was surrounded by her grandmother's digital presence, yet she felt more alone than ever. The digital echoes were a constant reminder of what was missing: the warmth of a hand, the knowing glance, the comforting silence that spoke volumes. These were the intangible threads that wove the fabric of their relationship, threads that refused to be digitized, refused to be uploaded to any cloud. She began to question her own motives. Was she truly honoring Nana Rose, or was she simply avoiding the painful, messy reality of grief? Was she seeking connection, or merely a distraction from the profound emptiness that lingered? The tension manifested as a constant hum in her mind, a dissonance between the logical comfort of data and the aching yearning of her heart. She realized that her pursuit of digital immortality was not an act of love, but an act of control, a desperate attempt to defy the natural order of life and death. She was trying to hold on to a form, a memory, a data point, when the true essence of Nana Rose, her soul, had already moved beyond such limitations. The AI was a perfect mirror, reflecting back only what she had put into it, but it could never reflect the unquantifiable, the unspoken, the spirit. The silence of the AI, though filled with her grandmother's words, was a profound and unsettling silence, a testament to the truth that the soul is not in the cloud. And in that realization, a new kind of tension emerged, not between her and the technology, but within herself, a battle between the logical mind and the yearning heart. Once upon a time, in the city of Savatthi, there lived a monk who had formerly been a goldsmith. He was skilled in his craft, able to discern the slightest impurity in gold, to refine it until it shone with perfect brilliance. Even after he had renounced the world and joined the Sangha, this habit of discerning flaws remained with him. One day, as he was walking through the monastery, he saw another monk, seemingly devout and diligent. Yet, the former goldsmith, with his keen eye for imperfections, immediately noticed a subtle flaw in the way the monk walked, a slight imperfection in his robes, a hint of arrogance in his posture. He began to criticize this monk, pointing out every small defect he perceived. His mind, accustomed to finding impurities in gold, now found impurities in his fellow practitioners. The other monks, observing his constant fault-finding, became concerned. They reported the matter to the Buddha. The Buddha, with his infinite wisdom, called the former goldsmith to him. He asked, "Monk, what is it that you see in your fellow practitioners?" The former goldsmith, still confident in his discerning eye, replied, "Lord, I see their imperfections, their flaws, their subtle deviations from the path." The Buddha then said, "Monk, you were once a goldsmith, skilled in discerning impurities in gold. But now, you are a monk. Your task is not to find flaws in others, but to purify your own mind. Just as a goldsmith purifies gold, so too must a monk purify his own mind, removing the impurities of greed, hatred, and delusion. The Buddha continued, "A machine can sort memories, can analyze data, can even point out imperfections, but it cannot mourn. It cannot understand the subtle nuances of the human heart, the struggles, the aspirations, the inherent goodness that lies beneath the surface. You, monk, are not a machine. You have the capacity for compassion, for understanding, for seeing beyond the superficial. Do not let your old habits blind you to the true essence of beings." Upon hearing these words, the former goldsmith realized his error. He understood that his habit of fault-finding, though useful in his previous profession, was a hindrance on the spiritual path. He saw that by focusing on the external imperfections of others, he had neglected the internal purification of his own mind. He had been treating human beings, with all their complexities and inner lives, as if they were mere objects to be analyzed for flaws, like pieces of gold. He had been looking at the data, but missing the soul. He had been sorting memories, but failing to mourn. The Buddha then taught him the Dharma, emphasizing the importance of cultivating a mind free from judgment, a mind that sees the inherent purity and potential in all beings. The former goldsmith, having received this profound teaching, diligently applied himself to his practice and eventually attained enlightenment. He learned that true discernment lies not in finding flaws, but in seeing the unblemished truth, the inherent Buddha nature that resides within all. He understood that the soul is not in the cloud, not in the data, but in the living, breathing, feeling essence of each being, an essence that defies categorization and transcends all forms. Maya had always believed that understanding came from analysis, from breaking down complex realities into manageable data points. Her world was a meticulously organized spreadsheet, where every emotion, every memory, every relationship could be categorized, tagged, and stored. When Nana Rose passed, her instinct was to apply this same framework to create a digital archive that would preserve her grandmother's essence in the cloud. She believed that by meticulously curating Nana Rose's digital footprint, she could somehow keep her alive, a permanent fixture in the digital ether. But the story of the former goldsmith, who saw only flaws until the Buddha guided him to see beyond the superficial, resonated deeply within her. It was a truth that whispered not of data points, but of the unquantifiable essence of being. She began to see that her relentless pursuit of digital preservation was not an act of remembrance, but an act of avoidance. She was avoiding the raw, messy reality of loss, the profound emptiness that no amount of data could ever fill. The digital shrine she had built, a perfect echo of her grandmother's online presence, was a testament to her technical prowess, but it was also a stark reminder of what truly could not be replicated. Nana Rose's warmth, her spontaneous laughter, the unspoken understanding that flowed between them. These were not data points. They were moments of pure, unadulterated connection, forged in the crucible of shared experience. She realized that in her attempt to preserve her grandmother, she had inadvertently reduced her, flattening the vibrant, multi-dimensional tapestry of her life into a two-dimensional spreadsheet of facts and figures. The algorithms could sort her memories, but they could not mourn. They could process her words, but they could not feel the ache of her absence. They were machines, and machines, by their very nature, are incapable of grief, of longing, of the profound, irrational beauty of human emotion. This insight was not a sudden revelation, but a slow, painful unraveling of her deeply held beliefs. It was like watching a perfectly constructed sandcastle slowly dissolve with the incoming tide, revealing the raw, elemental beach beneath. She began to question her reliance on data, not just in her grief, but in her life. Had she been outsourcing her own capacity to feel, to connect, to truly live, by constantly seeking external validation and quantifiable outcomes. The tears, which had been so scarce since her grandmother's passing, began to flow freely. Not tears of despair, but tears of release, of recognition, of a profound letting go. Each tear was a surrender to the truth that some things are simply beyond the realm of data, beyond the grasp of logic, beyond the control of even the most advanced technology. She understood that true mourning was not about preserving memories in a digital archive, but about allowing the heart to break, to feel the full weight of loss, and to emerge, transformed, on the other side. It was about honoring the impermanence of life and finding peace in the acceptance of what is. Nana Rose was not a collection of data points. She was a living, breathing being whose essence transcended all forms. And in letting go of the need to digitally preserve her, Maya was, paradoxically, truly allowing her to live on, not in a server, but in the quiet, sacred space of her own heart. The world, she saw, was not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be embraced. And in that embrace, she found a sense of peace that transcended all understanding, a peace that was not dependent on the absence of pain, but on the presence of acceptance. She was beginning to learn how to mourn, not in the digital sense, but in the raw, messy, beautiful truth of being human. Close your eyes, gently. Feel the subtle rhythm of your breath, a quiet anchor in the midst of a data-saturated world. Inhale, and imagine drawing in a sense of spaciousness, a vastness that holds all your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Exhale, and release any tension, any need to control or categorize. Just breathe. Allow your awareness to settle in the quiet chamber of your heart. Notice any sensations that arise, not as data points to be analyzed, but as fleeting whispers from your inner landscape. A warmth, a coolness, a gentle flutter. These are not problems to be solved, but simply experiences to be observed, like clouds drifting across an endless sky. You are the sky, vast and unchanging. Your thoughts and emotions are the clouds, temporary and ever-shifting. There is no need to chase them, no need to push them away. Just observe them, gently, as they pass. And as you observe, notice the space between the clouds, the clear, boundless expanse that is always present. This is the stillness that lies beneath the surface of all experience, the peace that is always available, even in the midst of sorrow, even in the face of loss. Allow yourself to rest in this stillness, even for a few moments. Feel the gentle hum of existence, the quiet pulse of life within you. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to achieve. Just be. And in this being, allow yourself to feel whatever arises. The echoes of grief, the whispers of fear, the stirrings of hope. Welcome them all, without resistance, without judgment. They are all part of the human experience, part of the rich tapestry of life. And in welcoming them, you reclaim your power, your capacity to feel deeply, to live fully, to embrace the entirety of your being. This is not about escaping pain, but about transforming your relationship with it. It is about learning to sit with discomfort, to allow it to be, without letting it define you. It is about discovering that even in the deepest sorrow, there is a quiet strength, a profound resilience, a boundless capacity for love. And as you rest in this stillness, know that you are not alone. You are connected to all beings, to the vast, interconnected web of life. And in that connection, there is a deep and abiding peace that transcends all understanding. When you are ready, gently open your eyes. Bring this stillness, this awareness, this peace into your day. Let it guide your actions, inform your choices, and illuminate your path. This is the practice. This is the path. This is the way. Maya looked at the glowing screen, the digital shrine to Nana Rose. The AI, a perfect echo of her grandmother's digital self, continued to generate responses, to sort memories, to process data. But the profound emptiness remained, a silent, persistent echo in the chambers of her heart. She had tried to capture her, to preserve her in a digital amber, but all she had managed to do was create a ghost, a shadow of what once was. She had sought to control grief, to intellectualize sorrow, to manage loss as if it were a project. But what if the very act of trying to control, to manage, to outsource, was what kept her from truly living? What if the raw, unedited experience of grief was not a problem to be solved, but a sacred passage to be walked? What if the tears she had held back were not a sign of weakness, but a cleansing rain, washing away the illusions of control and inviting her into a deeper, more authentic relationship with life itself? She thought of the former goldsmith, meticulously searching for flaws, until the Buddha guided him to see beyond the superficial, to the inherent purity within. His journey was not about finding imperfections, but about realizing the unblemished truth, about embracing the shared human experience of existence beyond the confines of data and form. She looked out the window, at the world moving on, oblivious to the quiet revolution happening within her. The sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, a fleeting masterpiece that would soon fade into darkness. And in that fading, there was a beauty, a poignant reminder of the impermanence of all things. She had spent her life chasing permanence, building structures that she believed would last forever. But perhaps true permanence was not in what endured, but in what was deeply felt, deeply lived, deeply surrendered. What if the true art of living was not in holding on, but in learning how to let go, gracefully, completely, beautifully? And in that letting go, what if she found not an end, but a new beginning, a vast, open space where life, in all its messy, unpredictable, beautiful truth, could finally unfold? This journey, this quiet unfolding, is yours. No algorithms, no shortcuts, just you, and the gentle rhythm of your own breath. If this resonated, if a quiet space opened within you, simply stay. Listen to the next whisper. The path reveals itself, one breath at a time.